It's a sad day. It's a sad day. This really tells you what that freedom of speech is really all about. It's freedom of speech, but watch what you say. Try to tell people all the time, hey, they're always coming to get you. You gotta be alert. You gotta be aware. And you gotta be prepared. Don't forget to hit the like button coming through the door, ladies and gentlemen. You see, what Nick did was say things and he felt inspired because he had Professor Griff on the show. Nick is very knowledgeable about history. And Nick has said these words and these sentiments before. But Nick Cannon, sometimes people don't realize the position that they're in. Nick was in a very, 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 very comfortable position where not only was he the creator of the show, he also brought it back, and it was almost as big as it was before when it left. You know, the money was there, everything was there. They had a new network that was willing to buy into the show as it was revamped, and Nick had contracts all through CBS, and I mean, network television deals are very hard to get, and Nick Cannon would get those deals. So the Masked Singer that was on CBS, he was the host of that, or the MC. It was another hit show for CBS, and Nick Cannon was getting a large deal. So ViacomCBS decided to drop him based off a YouTube podcast show. Let that sink in, y'all. Once again, YouTube podcasts. I tell you, these podcast shows that don't bring you 2 cents of your money can cost you millions of dollars. Ask academics. Viacom owns everything, buddy. Everything. You see, you gotta understand, Viacom is huge. It's a very huge platform. And once you say something about their pain, and you can't express your pain, even though you've been victimized, your people have been victimized by their people, they want to wipe all that under the rug and erase it and act like it didn't happen. No, forget it. Remember our 20-year pain. Your 400 years and counting cannot amount to our 20 plus years of pain. And forget the fact that we keep getting billions in reparations a year. That does not matter. The 20 years matter. Forget the fact we keep making movies glorifying and basically portraying our suppressor. We're going to keep his name in lights. The suppressor. He's going to be in every movie we do. I swear, Adolf got a new movie every year, don't he? He in like 2 of them. He's doing comedies. He's doing everything. They making him iconic. People know about him more than anything in the world. he should take Wildin' Out to Netflix. That could be a deal, but you gotta understand, it's too early right now. You know, he apologized for the words he said and everything else. He was just really feeling it, but I don't really have a problem with anything he says. The way he delivered it was, I'm telling you, he was inspired being there with Griff. You know, he was really in his zone. But you can't, that's not freely. You know, you got to understand, when you do these podcast shows, that stuff, they hold that against you. But they want to do it because they want to make an example. They feel like everybody can, they gotta put you back in your place. Deshaun Jackson never said one word, and they all coming down on him, even though they didn't do that for, what's his name, Riley Cooper. They ain't do nothing for him. They came in his defense. Didn't correct him one time. They penalize you for it. Everyone, where does that make sense at? Like right now, they just dropped me. Did some weirdness to my whole channel. I'm not in a place where it's even. So forget to hit the like button. That's why I keep telling you it's important. So they want to see the video. This is a video that they like. They want to be a part of it. You know, it's a happening video. Nice try, but Nick would never call me magnificent. And he damn sure wouldn't be asking me how Kel's doing when he talks to Kel more than I do. Yeah, Nick is family, man. Shoot, so Nick made some statements. He had Professor Griff on his podcast show a couple of weeks ago, but due to the Deshaun Jackson statement and how that blew up, everybody went to dig up what Nick said on his podcast show with Professor Griff. And now that became a big thing. He apologized on Twitter. It wasn't enough. And ViacomCBS decided to terminate its relationship with Nick Cannon. They didn't think the apology was stern enough or to their liking. They felt Nick was being tone deaf to their plight. And that was that. I always felt in my heart of hearts that things were different, and it didn't need to be. It angered me or frustrated, put it that way, you know, in the best of terms. It always frustrated me because I always felt that, why is it I never hear anybody else talk about our pain but us? Racism is not black people's problem. Okay? That's white people's problem. They got to figure that out, not us. We don't have to figure that out. They have the problem. That's an in-house situation that they got to figure out on their own. That has nothing to do with us. And the President of the United States of America made that statement. Not the one we have sitting now. But that statement was made by a President of the United States of America. Okay? Not me. And he said racism is our problem. White people. It's not black people's problem. It's our problem. And we need to fix our problem. We need to fix our mess. So I'm not saying anything that they didn't say. But pain is pain. All right? Pain is pain. There's no amount of suffering. Both sides have suffered. No side is greater than another. But when somebody is pointing out historical facts, even though Nick said some comments that were just how he felt, I don't think it was historical fact. A lot of things have been said about us. It was how people felt. Nobody came to our aid or defense from the other side. But the moment you say something they don't agree with, everybody's coming for your neck. I just want to know why. Don't forget to hit the like button, people. It's very important. It's very important. They need to know that this is a video you liked and you wanted to watch it. You know, because they'll be right there saying like, well, nobody was watching the video. So please hit the like button. The like button is free. It will not bite you. You won't get electrocuted by hitting the like button. Freedom of speech, but watch what you say. That's how it is. So you got to know that going in, that it is freedom of speech, but watch what you say. Nick Cannon is like a brother to me, man. Nick and Mac and all those guys. And I hate the fact, and I think tonight or whatever, they took off all that. I mean, Wildin' Out. Now, Nick was fired. But by Nick being the creator and the producer of the show, they might have pulled the whole Wildin' Out off the network, which I believe they will do. But why, if Nick is the only person that made the infraction? Because they're not going to want Nick to make any money with CBS and Viacom, and they're going to try to make an example out of him. Now, my thing is, why? Why? They're once again trying to put us in our place and tell us how we should express our pain about our history and what has happened of our history, our robbed legacy. You don't like the fact that they say the Hebrew Jews are the real Jews, when the historical facts, even by Jewish people, have said these things. Why don't other people speak up for our pain? Why come we're the only ones speaking up? Hebrews just a term for the people. We're Israelites, okay? Period. The lost children of Israel. That's us. And we're here in the western regions. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm an Israelite. Dude's like, we're not Israelites. I'm an Israelite, brother. That's our land. Period. Once you know your legacy and you know who you are, there's a certain power you have. This is why I didn't choose to go down the path a lot of people went through, because you start to realize that you don't own anything. And they could always come and take something from you. Now, if you want to live that life, that's fine, but I don't want to live that way. I don't want to live in a life where people could always come take something from me whenever they fail because they're in power. And then you have no voice. So I would never want to tie myself up in that situation when I'm speaking factually and I'm speaking truthfully and I'm not speaking against anyone because I hate someone. I have no hate in my heart for any human being. But to speak on our legacy does not start from slavery. They would like for you to believe that. There's a lot of people that would want you to believe all we came from was slavery. We were born into slavery and that's that. No, it was a systematic plan to make sure we didn't know who we were. Systematic plan. Take away our culture, our religion, our God. That if you take all that away from somebody, what do they have? You took their language, their religion, their culture, their God. They don't even know how to pray to their God. You took away their knowing. Us as people, we lost our knowing of self. We don't know who we are. So if you don't know who you are, you don't know that you're royalty, you don't know, you're not going to treat yourself as royalty. You're not going to hold yourself with class and dignity and pride and respect. You're going to hold yourself as a thought. You're going to be popping up on the gram, shaking on the gram and doing all this twerk dancing because you don't know your self-worth. You don't know who you are. You don't know that you're beautiful. Everybody's unique in their own way. So why is it that Nick say something that was basically truthful, even though he got to be fired from Viacom? Really? Well, let's see that happen on the other side. Let's see that happen when they say something bad about us. I want to see CBS Viacom jump out the way they did now. I want to see the Philadelphia Eagles owner jump up when someone comes down on African Americans. I want to see them do the same thing, since they're all about it's a no tolerance for this type of behavior. Well, it has to be on both sides. I want to see it. – And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button. And thank all you guys who supported my Cash App. Carcino's the name on the Cash App. I'm not going to hold you. Nick, you still family. Hit me up whenever you want. You know how to get in contact with me. Mac, all you guys. Man, I'm hoping and praying that the show, it still gets picked up and recovered. Probably be another platforms, but hey, they can't stop you, man. Nobody got your drive and hustle. You like me, Nick. You're a workaholic like me. You know I know. We put the work in, bro. So this is what we hold everybody up. Each side hold each other up. So wherever you go, Nick, we gonna support you. We gonna be there. We got you. You gonna be good no matter what. They can't. They could. It's only money. You can make it somewhere else. It's just like that. We pick it up and keep moving. That's how we do it. Everybody have a blessed night. Every human being in the world, learn from this video. Understand that yes, our legacy is what we make it from here on out. If you're following things from the past and you're not supporting respect of each other, then you have to evaluate yourself and say, what's the problem? Why am I not respecting everybody? Why am I judging people? You're passing on the same traditions that Nick was talking about, that Deshaun Jackson was tweeting about. Don't live up to the stereotype. Break the molds. Then you don't have to worry about it. There's nothing wrong with black people expressing how they feel about what happened to them and their ancestors.